Microsoft just announced something huge, and honestly it came out of nowhere. Today, Xbox is pulling back the curtain on Project Helix. That is the next-generation Xbox console, the direct successor to the Series X and Series S. We are finally getting a real look at what this machine is. Up until now, all we had were cryptic teases and vague hints. A single social media post here, a developer conference talk there. Nothing concrete, but today that changes. Xbox is hosting its very first Xbox Game Dev Update Showcase, and Project Helix is the star of the show. In this video, we are going to break down everything we know about Project Helix so far, what today's reveal actually showed us, who is running Xbox now, and what all of this means for the future of the platform. There is a lot to unpack, so let's get into it. Let's start at the beginning. Project Helix is Microsoft's codename for its next-generation Xbox console. It is the machine that will follow the Xbox Series X and Series S, and until very recently, barely anyone outside of Microsoft knew it existed. The first time we heard about it publicly was at the Game Developers Conference back in March. That is a conference aimed at the people who actually build games, not really at everyday consumers. So right away, the way this reveal has been handled is a little unusual. At that event, a Microsoft executive named Jason Ronald gave a talk called Building for the Future with Xbox, and in that talk, he shared a few key details. First, Project Helix will be a console for both Xbox games and personal computer games. That is a big deal. Microsoft has been blurring the line between Xbox and personal computer for years now, and this machine seems to take that idea further than ever before. Second, developer units will not be going out until 2027, so this console is still quite a ways off. We are not talking about something launching this holiday season. This is a longer runway. Before that, the only other public information we had came from Asha Sharma. She is the newly appointed head of gaming at Microsoft, and she posted a short but interesting update on her social media saying Project Helix will lead in performance. Simple, to the point, and pretty exciting if you read between the lines. Now today we are getting the first proper showcase. It is called the Xbox Game Dev Update. It is hosted on Xbox's dedicated game developer YouTube channel. Charla, who is the general manager of portfolio and programs at Xbox, and Jason Ronald, who is the vice president of Next Generation, are walking through everything. And even though this event is aimed at developers, there is still plenty of meat on the bone for regular fans to dig into. Okay, so what do we actually know about what is inside this thing? Here is where it gets interesting. Microsoft has confirmed that Project Helix is powered by a custom AMD-based system on a chip. Now for those who are not deep into the hardware world, a system on a chip is basically a single integrated circuit that combines the processor, graphics, memory controller, and more all in one package. The Xbox Series X uses one of these too, but this next version has been co-designed alongside the next generation of DirectX. DirectX is Microsoft's own set of tools and technologies that developers use to get the most out of Xbox and Windows hardware. Having a console co-designed with the next version of that framework from the ground up is a pretty significant technical statement. It means the hardware and software are being built together, hand in hand, to complement each other. Microsoft says this will create new opportunities for developers to optimize their build workflows, improve performance, and iterate more efficiently. In plain terms, that means games should run better, look better, and potentially be easier to develop for. They also mentioned ongoing partnership with AMD to shape the future of rendering and simulation. Rendering is how a game draws images on screen. Simulation covers things like physics, artificial intelligence, behavior, and world systems. Both of those areas are where modern games are constantly pushing limits, so having a custom chip designed specifically to advance those things is a pretty bold promise. Now we do not have frame rate targets yet. We do not know if this machine will push 6K or 8K resolution, or whether it will lean into more practical targets like 4K at high frame rates. But the language Microsoft is using suggests they are going for raw performance leadership. Remember, Asha Sharma said it will lead in performance. That is a direct challenge to whatever Sony is planning with the PlayStation successor as well. But here is where it gets interesting, because the story of Project Helix is also a story about a major leadership shakeup at Microsoft Gaming. For years, Phil Spencer was the face of Xbox. He was the head of Microsoft Gaming and kind of the symbolic guardian of the brand. But back in February of this year, Spencer stepped down. Taking his place as the new chief executive officer of Microsoft Gaming is Asha Sharma. She came in and almost immediately started making moves. One of her very first public acts was posting about Project Helix and that performance promise. She is clearly not shy about setting expectations. At the same time, Sarah Bond, who had been a prominent Xbox executive and someone many fans expected would eventually lead the company, announced she was leaving Xbox entirely. That was a double headline that shook the Xbox community. New leader in, familiar face out. So what does this new era look like? Early signs suggest Sharma is pushing Xbox in a more aggressive direction. The messaging around Project Helix is confident. It talks about leading performance. It invites developers to join the journey. It is positioning Xbox as a forward-looking platform, not a reactive one. And honestly, Xbox needs that energy right now. The platform has had a rough few years. Game releases have been inconsistent. The acquisition saga with Activision Blizzard dominated headlines for a long time. Studios were closed. Fans were frustrated. The question now is whether Project Helix and this new leadership team can actually deliver on the hype. Today's developer showcase is one small but meaningful step. It shows Microsoft is ready to start talking openly about what comes next. And getting developers excited early before consumer units even exist is a smart play. Happy developers tend to produce better launch titles, and better launch titles sell consoles. So there you have it. Project Helix is real. It is powered by a custom AMD system on a chip. It is co-designed for the next generation of DirectX. It will support both Xbox and personal computer games. Developer units are coming in 2027. And today's Xbox Game Dev Update Showcase is just the beginning of what could be a very exciting new chapter for the platform. Xbox has a lot to prove, but they are at least starting the conversation in a serious way. We will be keeping a very close eye on every new detail that comes out of this showcase and beyond. If you want to stay on top of all the latest gaming news as it happens, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We cover this stuff every single day. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you excited about Project Helix, or do you need to see more before you believe the hype? Let us know. See you in the next one.